Good
How's
morning,
the weather?
everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, we're sitting here in sunny Colorado and bright blue skies, and I am not wanting the fall to come. I'm enjoying this summer so much. How about you, Tom? What are you up to today?
Well, we've got one more week of heat. It's supposed to be 106 on Thursday, which is tomorrow, and then it's supposed to cool down in the 70s, but it's all good. Real estate's picking up. Life is good.
Yeah, yep. A lot going on. Well, you guys, I know we got a few people jumping in, and I want to hear something that's got you excited today about real estate or about your personal world. What's got you excited? Tom, you're just living the life, my friend. I can't believe you. I mean, but you've worked hard and you deserve every bit of it. So, something good, guys. What's going on?
Hey Jackie, can you hear
Yes.
me? Yeah,
Yes.
I passed my Washington exam yesterday, so gonna get
Woohoo!
my application set up there so I can go over the river to sell
I
houses.
love it. Yeah, expand that business. Why not, right? If you live
Makes
that
sense
close
not
to
to
it.
have it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Well, awesome, you guys. Let's just go ahead and get started. I am so excited to feature Scott Jensen. I'm going to let him answer some questions, but met Scott, what, Scott?
Oh,
Uh,
four,
4 years,
five
5 years?
years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, wow.
yeah. Actually recruited him over to the previous company I was with, and then I had a conversation with him that I was moving, and I'll never forget that moment. I had been coaching Scott, and at that moment, he just dropped his pen. We were in a Starbucks, and he said, "Okay, Jackie, where are we going?" Um, and I said, "We're going." Wow, Scott, I'm going with the SP, and I just didn't expect that response. But he had already been taking a look at EXP, and so um, fast forward, he's gone from one transaction a month to pretty consistently 4 transactions a month. And so I want to start by asking you, Scott, tell us a little bit about like how long you've been in real estate. What did you do before real estate?
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about just, before we let everybody in there. It's like a Talking Head song. How did I get here? It's I guess work ethic, leverage and positioning yourself just with the right people around you. I mean, business has been down. So to be growing and to be flourishing, I mean, it's people ask me how I'm doing, and I say, I'm the most blessed person on the planet. It's absolutely amazing what's gone on over the past 2 years, especially since I dropped my pen and I said, Jackie, where are we going? I mean, you need to have a coach. You need to have somebody that you trust, somebody like Jackie, because when Jackie speaks, people listen. But seriously, when Jackie actually, started talking, you could tell that she was serious. You could tell that this was going to be, something awesome, something amazing, life changing, and it is, and it is. I mean, I'm living proof. I mean, it absolutely was, and it absolutely is. So, I think if we go back to like May of 23, that's really when the market took a big shift right there, and it was primarily just because of interest rates. And you had to figure out how to, find buyers. You had to you just had to do things differently. I mean, there was a shift. There was just yeah, yeah. You just needed to shift with the times. And I think through having Jackie as a coach and leveraging myself in some other areas, we were able to make that shift pretty successfully.
So Scott, you've gone from, 1 to 4, and I've watched this transformation. I mean, you were an awesome people-oriented, relationship-based person already. But what kind of things did you do to go from 1 to 4 transactions in really about 2 years, 1 to 4 transactions a month? What did you do?
Well, at the beginning of real estate, I was everywhere, and my wife always said, "Pick a lane." And I'll tell you that pick a lane is what I say all the time to people around me. Pick a lane and just drive there. You know, find a high production lane to jump into, and you know, get your 10,000 hours. Back when we made the shift over, I had already capped at the previous company. So the first 6 months while I was in EXP, it didn't count. So really in May of 23 to May of 24, that's actually, you know, was my first year here at EXP. And it took me 27 transactions and $13 million to Icon. And I mean, I didn't really grasp what that Icon status is and what it does for you, but just the little simple meetups every Thursday. I mean, you need 4 of these to get, you know, to recover $4,000 of your cap fee. And I go almost every Thursday because the value that comes from that is spectacular. One of the things that that really blew me away at the beginning, that I've heard multiple times, and I've only been like five to 5 meetings, and is follow-up. There are Icon agents that are doing $40 million in real estate with 0 marketing, doing nothing but calling their client up a week after the closing and saying, "Is everything okay?" Calling them up 3 weeks after the closing saying, "Is everything okay?" Calling them up 6 weeks after, "Is everything okay?" Just keeping that relationship going, especially if you've been through kind of a dramatic transaction or something like that. Those are the best ones because you've already created just an amazing relationship, a deep relationship where they know that you're going to work your butt off for them, and they know your work ethic, and as long as you keep that relationship going with them, there is no doubt that they're going to tell their friends and family that you're going to kick butt for them. So I think, you know, it surprised me how many big teams just don't do any marketing at all. All they do is follow up. And that is their data. And we're talking about a sphere of like 400 people. We're not talking about, you know, this 5,000-10,000, you know, person database type of thing. And they're, you know, pulling $40 million of real estate transactions every year. So I guess maybe I've got a quick story kind of along that lines. There's an agent that I was actually talking to the other day, and just really kind of struggling. And they started off by joining the Chamber of Commerce, which is awesome. And I mean, no disrespect to that at all. And then they go to all of these ribbon cutting ceremonies that are going on with new businesses opening in the area, which is great, you know. And then you know, just the other day, they were mentioning that they received an entire list of all the realtors in Denver. So when they get a listing, if they get a listing, they'll go ahead and be able to send an email out to all the realtors that are in town. Well, I mean, my first response to that was, the realtors have their buyers set up on the MLS. If your house matches their criteria, they're going to know it. They're going to get an email right away, and they're actively shopping. They're actively looking. So, you know, and I've mentioned it many times. I mean, you've got to pick up the phone. You've got to talk to these people. You got to take them out to coffee. You got to build relationships, because that's what real estate is. It's all relationships. And when you build those really deep relationships, like these Icon agents, you know, that are doing 40 million a year just through follow-up, that's just 100% evidence that that is the name of the game. So you can hide behind the business of real estate in trying to invent yourself, in trying to work your business or build your business or build your brand or build your name or whatever it is. At the end of the day, it's really, really simple. All it is relationships and just getting to know people, and those people trusting you that you have not only the knowledge but their best interests at heart.
Well, that's so interesting. I mean, Scott, can it really be that simple?
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah. What does everybody else think? I mean, really, I mean, I don't see that there's, a magic wand or there's a magic pill or a magic anything in there. I mean, really, it's just it's just digging in
And calling people, so you're saying calling your
relationships.
database, yeah, following up. I mean, I think there's just so many shining objects out there that, like you said, in that case with that realtor is like, okay, I can do this and this and this, and not calling the people that he knows, and not calling buyers and sellers or potential buyers and sellers, and not dialing, right? That's what you're saying.
Right. Now, maybe I'll kind of backtrack a little bit because, it is very important to have the plumber that you trust. It is very important to have, business infrastructure behind you that you've got a complete package all the way around, so that when your seller, is when you go through the inspection and you need 15 trades, because you need 15 trades on some transactions, that you've got that infrastructure behind you. So very, very important in that light. And I will also say that a good portion of my business comes from senior real estate, because I found a lane that works for me, and I picked that lane in senior real estate, and I get senior real estate advisors, and I get estate lawyers, and and I've got my SRES senior real estate designation, and I get these people calling me with seniors that need to move to assisted living, that need to sell their house. And so it is important to build those relationships. But at the end of the day, it's great to get a lead from that environment. At the end of the day, that's not your client. And you've got to figure out, who is your client, and how are you going to be able to, or what's in your lane. And for me, senior real estate works really well, because I can take them through, the whole entire conservatorship or power of attorney, or whatever the process is. If there's a bridge loan, if it's, I can hold these family members' hands, and we can take care of mom and dad, and we can also take care of the bigger picture, especially if there's zero money, to pay for anything. You can't even pay for a power of attorney, let alone, get a house ready for sale. So, having relationships with the businesses is very important, but that's not where you get paid. You get paid off of your clients. You get paid off of transactions. You get paid off of doing things, and how much I love the service aspect of what I do. It's always nice to get a paycheck at the same time.
Mm-hmm,
So
you've been meetups. You mentioned that. Tell us about that. What does your meetups look like?
Well, maybe I misspoke, because I don't do a lot of like meetups. I have an onslaught of contractors, and I have an onslaught of professionals like the estate lawyer, and the senior real estate advisors, and this kind of stuff. And I built that infrastructure, and it's taken, I don't know, a good 2-3 years for that to produce. So, as you're going through your real estate journey, and you've picked your lane, and you're, really focusing, and you're getting your 10,000 hours in that direction right there, then I think the rest will come along But to get things started, to get things going, to get things moving, you got to pick up the phone, and you just started. You got to start creating relationships with people. You got to you got to go to meetups. You know, that's a great place to meet people. I mean, if you love pickleball, you know, then go get yourself involved in some pickleball tournaments and meet some people. You know, but somehow or another, you know, at the beginning, starting off, you've got to just start building and nurturing. It's just like farming. If you're going to go farm a neighborhood, you're easily a year out before you're going to start seeing transactions from that neighborhood, because you've got to create those relationships. So number one is just to pick up the phone, get yourself involved in meetups, get yourself involved in different arenas that are in your lane. That you know, like if you love pickleball, you want to go hang out with pickleball people. If you hate pickleball, why am I hanging out with pickleball people? I've got nothing to talk about, you know. So you know, find people with like interests, and you know, build some relationships, build your book of business, and then, you know, the farm, the senior real estate, you know, whatever's in your lane, it'll just come naturally.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. And, you know, I love the idea of doing something you enjoy and giving yourself a chance to talk to some people who might be some buyers and sellers. Dawn mentioned that Anna Marie in Hawaii gets a lot of referrals from her pickleball group. So just as we speak. So that's awesome. Okay, so, you know, one thing I've really appreciated about you too is your social media reels. Oh my goodness. Like, you pipe those things out at the speed of sound, it feels like. Probably not, but I know it takes a lot more thinking and intention around that. So tell us about your social media presence and what kind of business you've gotten from that.
Yeah, and actually, I really should be doing 3 to 4 times what I do in the social media reel aspect. I actually feel pretty guilty when it comes to that, because like I'll ask my assistant Annie to write a script, or I'll give her a bunch of bullet points, and she'll put together something great for me, and it never sees the light of day. You know, I get bogged down with other stuff instead of making it a priority, yeah, really need to do that more. But on the you know, conversation of social media, it is an enhancement of where you're going and what you're doing and who you are and how you can be of service. It is not an answer, or it is not a lead generator, in my opinion. It helps because, for example, I mean, when I really started getting active in social media, I would be at church, and you know, you end up with like three thumbs up, you know, or you end up with maybe 4 if you're lucky. But the thing is that I would go to church on Sunday, and, you know, just be talking to some of the people there, and you know, almost all of them, they're saying, Scott, man, it just looks like you're really rocking it. You're so busy. And it's like, well, give me a thumbs up then, you know, so I know that you see this stuff. But really, at the end of the day, people do thumbs up on photos with babies, on weddings, on big events in people's lives. They don't do it on business, but I guarantee you that they see it, because I'm living proof of that. Our social media presence is really, really great. Now it is, I mean, it is super strong, but you know, I've had Annie, my assistant, here for about 2.5 years, and that has been one of her primary jobs, if not the primary job, to make sure that that is 100% well up to par and just populated, because people need to know that I'm active. And then when I actually call them on the phone, or I have a pickleball tournament, or you know, we're running some other promotion or something like that, and then I become top of mind through, you know, actual relationship activities, they already know that I've, you know, closed 27 deals at $13 million. last year, and I reached icon status. So now that I became top of mind through a relationship touch, now all of a sudden we've got a transaction going. So some of the posts that we do to just show activity out there, you've got an opportunity with every single listing that you do for, like, 4 or 5 touches. And you do the coming soon, you do the just listed post, you do the under contract post, you do the closed post. So I guess that's 4. You got 4. What? Oh, the open house. Yeah. And shoot, we do an open house every weekend. So I mean, we could have more than 5 posts on this thing. And so lots, and we use the same exact format. So pick a format and drive. We have a very simple, photo of just some background photo of the house, of the landscape, whatever it is. Then we have a shot of the front of the house. We have a couple of shots of the inside, and then a short little description. And it is the exact same thing for every single post consistently, so that when somebody looks at the post screen with all of the different squares that are right there, they see the same post all the way across. And it's like, goodness gracious, they're doing a lot of stuff right there, because they know that that specific graphic has to do with a house. So one of the other things that we'll do, if we're trying to drum up buyers, or we're just if we're trying to drum up buyers, we do a post that's called Buyers Needed, and it's somebody else's listing. We call up and say, hey, can I feature your listing? We've got a pretty decent social media presence. It might help you, but would you mind if we do that? We get the A-OK, and we go ahead and we just put this out. It says Buyers Needed. Here's the address. Here's some photos. Here's a little bit about the thing. Now, I mean, it's kind of twisting things a little bit, as far as thinking that, or posting that that's your listing, and you're looking for a buyer. But on the other hand, if somebody should ask, then you just tell them, exactly what it was. Hey, I called up this listing agent. I thought this house was great. It's median level, and yeah, I need a buyer client. Are you looking for a house? Type of response is what you give to the person who would question that, if there ever was a question of it. And it's a great way, if you don't have a client, to potentially get one right there. We do all kinds of market stats, trends. We do all kinds of community posts, as far as Red Rocks concerts. That's always a great one to shoot out there. The best rooftop bar that's in the city, right at the beginning of summer, something like that. We're in the fall. How to position your house for the winter season coming up here. So we'll do helpful things, and then I've done a few lawsuit reels as well. So just kind of informative reels on what the heck's going on. Jackie had a just kind of a Zoom get together, and we were all talking, and she was talking about the oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It was there and gone.
The postcard, maybe? Was it the NAR or?
Yeah, it had to do with NAR. So at any rate, it's the things that happen throughout the day that you think your clients may be interested in. And it doesn't have to be anything special. Just open up the camera. Just open up your phone, and you can do it 5 or 6 times on there, and then just put it out there. I mean, and the more you do it, the easier it'll be. It's just like getting your 10,000 hours in anything. Yeah. And then you're just going to start wrapping these things off without any problem at all. Just keeping people informed, so that when you have that relationship touch with them, and you're all of a sudden top of mind.
You know, and when you said something to me, it's been a couple of weeks ago that just, it really, really blew me away. And that is, your stock with EXP.
Mm.
Um, and so tell me about what you've been able to, and truly, right, within about a year and a half since March of 2023.
Yeah.
So what have you been able to gather in stock? And tell us about that story.
Well, I mean, you know, when you sign up with EXP, you've got the option of what is your stock split, you know, for your transactions. And you know, I'm 56, and so I mean, retirement is way top of mind. And so I mean, I grabbed everything possible and said, put it all in there. You know, back in the day, it was a 401k when I was in corporate America, and today, you know, it's this, and I, you know, pretty much treat it the same way. Get as much in there as I possibly can. So, you know, set it up originally that way, and then through the transactions that I've done, and then hitting Icon. I mean, yeah, Icon's worth $16,000 right there. If you head to the head to two events, head to EXPCon, which is in Miami this year, and then you attend these Zoom call meetups every Thursday. These Icon things that I was talking about earlier. You know, you get, you know, additional $16,000 just thrown right back in there. And from the beginning of EXP to today, I've got $45,000 sitting in the stock that with any other company that would not be there. With EXP, it is. And to tell you the truth, I mean, Jackie and I, we talked about some awesome stuff when the pen dropped. You know, it's like, where are we going? But never once did we talk about $45,000 in EXP stock, you know, sitting right there to, you know, for that to grow and you know, be part of the retirement portfolio. If there's one thing that I don't spend enough time on, and that is the passive income structure of EXP. I've done pretty good with the you know, the stock thing just by chance, but man, the revenue share, and especially with these you know, new modifications that they've done to the revenue share. I mean, Russell is the man when it comes to this stuff. We've got a recruiter that we think is going to come to EXP and just really do some pretty awesome stuff for us, and him for that matter. But the and that's one of the greatest things about about EXP is that everybody prospers in that type of stuff. So I mean, the support that we're showing him and giving him is spectacular. But really diving into to more of that passive income.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and you know, Scott, I know Don's got a question here, but I just want this to sink into everybody. Okay, so it cost Scott 16,000, and he got that back, and you're well on your way to get that back again. And so now he has 45,000, and you know, basically EXP is paying him to work here. You guys realize that? Like that is an amazing story that he would not have at other companies. And he's not even really taken it, like you mentioned, not taking full advantage, but he is somewhat of the revenue share. And so I want that to sink in, you guys. If you're talking to a producing agent, it is like they can do the same thing they're already doing and not have that 45,000, or they can come over and have 45,000. Like that is an amazing story. And I really want that to sink in because it blows me away at the opportunity in this company. Don, you have a question.
Well, I want to, well, first of all, acknowledge Scott. How many full years have you been at EXP?
2. Because it was August of 22, right? So August.
Okay.
Of 22,
All right. So let's amortize that. So 2 years would be 32,000, right? And you've got 45,000 in stock.
Yeah.
So when I am talking to an icon level producer, one of the things that I share with them is I'll ask them, what their level of production is, and they'll say, like Scott did 27 deals to get icon. They'll say, well, 30 plus, whatever. And I'll say, well, that's fantastic. And about how long have you been doing that level of production? Let's say 30 plus deals a year. And they'll go, oh, I guess about 7-8 years. And I'll say, wow. And that's tremendous. Has that 10-year earned you ownership in your company? And they'll be like, well, what do you mean? Right. And I say, well, at your level of production, Scott, if we were a law firm, you would be at partner level. In essence, you would receive back in stock your entire cap. And so effectively, we'd be paying you to broker your transactions. Right. Yeah. And I think that walking them through that is acknowledging them for their production, and then asking them how long that has been, ask them if they've been rewarded for that, and let them know that one of the things that drivers really want is they want acknowledgement for the hard work that they do. A lot of companies pay lip service to it, right? You're the one that has a relationship with the client. Okay. But what EXP actually does is they make you a partner, right? And they tell you, and it's not like it's just this little club. It's this, if you do this, we'll give you this, right? And Scott, I think because you've been going to those Thursday meetings, you have come to recognize that some of these professionals that are doing enormous production, I think you mentioned like 40 million with 400 people in their sphere. And you guys, it's relationships first, but it's really simple math. Okay. Normally, people move about every 10 years. So if you have 400 people for whom you are a real estate resource and you become their realtor of choice, that's going to put you in line for 40 transactions a year. Now, to be fair, because of the lack of affordability, the transfer rate is a little bit less. So woe is you. Maybe you're only going to get 20 transactions from that 400. Okay. But still, if you do what Scott is saying, which is to pick up the phone and make sure you make a personal contact with each and every one of those every 90 days, and then they're seeing you also in social and you're interacting with their social and so forth, you can become that person, and then you can get those transactions. So I just wanted to
love that. So true. And then, to kind of close this up, I have another kind of opportunity for all of you guys. One thing that Scott's been diving a lot more into, he has for a long time, but a lot more intention in is investment opportunities and that type of thing. And syndications, right? Where other people can also invest on really awesome potential properties. And so tell us about that, Scott, what you got going there.
Yeah, I look at traditional real estate as kind of the bread and butter. And I look at development as retirement, is what I do. And development is very exciting. Right when I got into real estate, I said, I want to build houses. And then it turned into, I want to build a mixed use to where we've got apartments on top and we've got retail below. And through the journey, I've built a $1 million single family home, and I've built a $2.3 million duplex. And then I've got 19 acres under contract that's going to be roughly about 140 homes. And then I've got another situation that I'm the listing agent of 15 acres in Brighton that's going to be a build to rent. And these two are quite different from one another because of the investment opportunity that's there. The 19 acres is a very short term. It's about a 2x is what it is. So put in 100,000, you get 200 back. Or you make 100,000. I mean, yeah, you get your original 100 plus an additional 100 back. But it's conservative time frames, about 18 months. And then on the 15-acre build to rent, that's more of a 3 to 5 year structure. And I've already talked to Don. We've had some conversations as far as presenting it to the group, and as soon as we get the underwriting done on this, which I actually received an email from the head underwriter this morning. So as soon as we get the underwriting done on that, yeah, I would love to be able to share that with you all, because I mean, like I said earlier, I'm 56. I don't have time to make mistakes, and especially when you're talking about, I mean, the 19 acres is a $9.22 million deal, and the build to rent is a 16.8. So when you're talking those numbers, you can't make mistakes. So we've got a head developer that's got over 30 years of experience. We've got a syndicator. We've got me doing the market study and just making sure that the end product is going to match the market and the feasibility is all straight. And then we've got a second generation builder in there to make sure that what we're giving the builders to construct is spot on. And then obviously we've got the underwriter that's making sure that the financials are going to produce. So there's a company here in Denver called Ironton Capital, and they have already said that they'll put about $1 million towards this. So and the total raise is only 1.5 for the 19 acres. So so it might be a good investment opportunity for you. Maybe you've got some investors that it might be a good opportunity for. But yeah, I guess to Jackie's point, I like to play the big game also, or at least try to get in there and do some fun things there as well.
Scott, I've got a question for you. Let's say that one of our agents doesn't have the funds themselves, but one of their clients does. Would they be able to get at least a referral on the commission if for the portion that their client puts in, or what kind of arrangement could be made there?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's enough money. I think that there's enough profit in the big picture of everything to dial something like that in. Don, I have not had that request. So I think I will talk to the underwriter about that, and I'll say, hey, look, I've got a network of not only everybody here, but just a network of real estate agents that may have that contact.
Let us know.
Okay.
Okay, well, guys, we've gone a little bit over. I want to thank you, Scott. Thanks for taking the time. And I'm applauding you. I have from the get-go.
Hey, Jackie, can I just add one more thing just really quick here? And just, I mean, one of the things I really wanted to touch on this morning is just life balance. Get yourself to the gym. Get yourself in front of the Bible, or get yourself in front of something that really holds passion and meaning in your life. Get yourself just a really, really good daily routine, and you'll be amazed at how the world just falls into place, and how your confidence is just sky high to go and tackle any client or any situation or any life event that may come pounding through your door, unexpected. And so I kind of want to elaborate a little bit more on that, but yeah, thanks for giving me just a minute.
I love it.
It's so important.
Such a huge foundation, not just to your day, but to your life, right? Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for your time. It's awesome to have you. Scott, thank you so much for your words of wisdom and your example before us all. And you guys have yourself an awesome day. Tom, you want to end with anything?
Hey, well, now, thanks, Scott, Jackie. We all got our inspiration. Time to put in the perspiration. Have a great day. Thanks so much. See you next week.
All right. See you guys later. Thanks,
everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye now.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.